The simplest and the easiest manifestation technique that always works for me. I'm sure you have been using this technique since your childhood, but you might or might not know about its huge power. Before I tell you about this technique, I want you to try out an experiment for yourself tonight before going to sleep. As you're sitting on your bed, stick out a finger. Focus on this particular finger and say out aloud, I want to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now you can choose any time you want. If you want to wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever time you want to wake up at. Just say it aloud. I want to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and go to sleep and see what happens. Let me break your curiosity right at this moment and tell you the next morning you are definitely going to wake up at that particular time. Now, if you go back to sleep again, that is a different thing. But I can assure you that you are going to wake up at that particular time 3 or 4 minutes before or late. And if you check the time, it is going to be around that time 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever. Now, let me quickly tell you a story. Since I'm not a morning person, I usually put an alarm before going to sleep so that I could wake up at the specified time that I have to wake up at. But when I learned about this particular technique, I thought of trying it out. I tried it out on a safer day when I did not really have to go out anywhere or tend to a particular responsibility. This was just for experimenting, so I did that on a weekend. I tried out every single day. I used to stick out a finger, tell myself that I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And guess what? I used to wake up at that particular time, sometimes 3 or 4 minutes early. The point of this particular experiment is to prove to you that all of this process is happening because of our subconscious mind. This concept was first introduced to me when I was in school. One of our guest teachers had come and it was kind of a workshop. He introduced this technique. At that time, I had no clue about what law of attraction was, neither did he let us know that it was something related to law of attraction. It was something of a fun experiment that we were doing. Only when I read this particular book by Joseph Murphy, The Power of Our Subconscious Mind, that is when I realized that it has everything to do with our subconscious mind, which forms 90% of our mind. In fact, this particular experiment was also given out in that particular book, and I highly recommend you read this book by Joseph Murphy because it had been a life-changing book for me. I keep reading this book time and again. So the subconscious mind is always listening to our thoughts, our words, and projecting the reality in front of us depending upon what we are thinking, saying, and feeling. And the technique that I wanted to mention was praying. In fact, praying is nothing but speaking to our own subconscious mind. Since childhood, I used to pray to God. Sometimes my prayers were answered, rather 90% of the times my prayers were answered, but 10% of the time my prayers were not answered. I was confused. I used to be confused because I was told that whatever you want, whatever you ask your God, it will be given to you. But when my desires were not fulfilled, I used to be confused. Why are they not fulfilled? Until this universal truth was revealed to me, I came to realize that it is praying in the right way that helps us get what we desire. So, are we praying in the right way? Are we asking in the right way to our God, to the universe, to whatever you believe in? What happens is, whenever we are praying, sometimes when we are too desperate to get a particular thing, when we are begging our God, we literally beg that, please, I want this, otherwise this is going to happen, something worse is going to happen. What are we exactly doing? We are asking God from a position of lack. Instead of begging, what we should be doing is we should assume that we already have that thing, we already are that thing. And the two most popular way of praying is using or starting with I am or I love. I am money. I am love. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am in a loving relationship with my partner. So on and so forth. Because when you are that vibration, that is when you match with the thing that you desire. And secondly, love is the highest form of vibration. So when you are speaking from the place of love, again, it works. I love money. I love my family. I love the way I easily get all the money flowing to me. This is one way of praying. And the another way of talking to your subconscious is giving a deadline. I'm going to get a brilliant idea for writing my book by tomorrow. I'm going to get an amazing idea for starting up my business by this week. My income will double in 3 months. Now, also remember that whatever you are suggesting, you have to believe it. Because if you are saying that I'm going to make $1 million by tomorrow, and if you don't believe that something like that can happen, obviously your belief is in contradiction with what you just said, and obviously that is not going to manifest. If you believe that something can happen in 2 weeks, if you believe something can happen in a day, if you believe something can happen in just a short while, if you believe something can happen in 3 months, just give that particular deadline. You have to first believe it. If your beliefs are in contradiction with what you are saying or what you are asking, it might not manifest. Then we sometimes might wonder, why are our bigger desires not getting fulfilled? It is because of the low vibrational feelings. Having low vibrational emotions like fear, anxiety, doubts, jealousy can hamper a manifestation. And despite asking, despite praying, our prayers might not be answered because we have these feelings and emotions going on within us. And in fact, I would also add showing off. That auntie insulted me. Once I get the $1 million, I'm going to show her. It is again a low vibrational feeling. Instead, we should be asking from a place of pure love, pure loving emotions, higher vibrational emotions. That is when we manifest with absolute ease. I hope you enjoyed this video and do try out the experiment tonight. And I'll see you next time with another video. Bye bye.